So follow your heart, part 2. Just a little recap. So the technique is you find your pulse. First, find a comfortable place to sit. And so that you can be quiet for just a couple of minutes. You don't do this for a long time. You build up over time and do this. What you do is you use this technique of counting 8 heartbeats on the in-breath and 8 heartbeats on the exhalation. So whenever you're stressed out during the day or there's something going on and you can just pause for a moment and do that. Now I'm going to give you the context of follow your heart. So you're literally following your heart. And what's happening in your body is you're actually shifting from what's called the sympathetic nervous system, which is the fight, flight, stress response, to the parasympathetic part of your nervous system, which is the relaxation response, also the pleasure response. So by consciously being able to make that shift, you can now apply that in other areas of your life. Now, I'm not going to get quite into all that because it can get quite complicated. But here's the context. When you start to focus on the area around your heart, what happens, particularly if you begin to focus feelings of appreciation and caring, what happens is you begin to activate the heart as an energy center. And you create something that's called heart coherence, heart-brain coherence. So you notice most people, when we're upset, we're in conflict. And being in conflict means that one part of our psyche wants to kick the butt of another part of our psyche. And so generally when we want to make changes, it's usually we go to one part of our identity and we build ourselves up and we're going to change this other part. And what happens is you get these two parts that are fighting, and guess what? Nobody wins. So to be able to take these moments to pause, and there's an actual space between the breath, the inhalation and the exhalation, and that space is timeless. Now I talk about with Heart IQ that all it takes is one undefended moment to drop into your heart and to realize yourself as the source of love. I'm not kidding. This literally can happen. It can happen that fast. Because in that moment that you are undefended, that's your undefended moment. So I mentioned earlier, when I first learned this simple little technique, somebody was handing me a diamond. But I thought they were handing me a piece of glass. I didn't get the value of it. So I want to give you a little bit of context so that this technique that I've taught you, to realize what the diamond that it really is. Because it's a diamond that actually reveals the diamond of who you are. And so the value of doing this gives you the ability to at any time to shift from being stressed out to being relaxed. It takes time to learn this. Now with the Heart IQ program, that's sort of the building block of being able to do heart-focused practices. There's a lot of other things that you can do to add with that enhance the experience, that allows you to, well, literally align everything in your life to your heart rhythm. Now I'm going to say that again. You can align everything in your life to your heart. The literal heart and the metaphorical heart, which is actually more than metaphor. We are the heart. That's what we are. When you drop into your heart and you discover yourself as source, you realize, oh my God, I'm everything. But at the same time, you're also a human being living in a body, getting your buttons pushed every day. So that little technique I'm teaching you is a way of when your buttons get pushed, instead of going through the normal routine, like when my buttons get pushed, usually what happens is I start projecting on the person that pushed my buttons. You did it to me. Or I get into a complaining thing. Well, those people, you know those people. I always wonder who those people are, but but there's always something out there that we project on instead of really owning our own discomfort. So there's another aspect of this work where you begin to relax into your life so that when you get triggered, what's actually get triggered is what Eckhart Tolle calls the pain body. Now when the pain body gets triggered, there's triggering and there's triggering. So there's triggering where, oh, my buttons are pushed. I noticed when you said that I felt triggered. And then there's, oh my God, kind of triggering where you know, it's like sometimes when my buttons get pushed, particularly around technology, I'm giving you a little hint and secret, that's, I get very frustrated with when technology doesn't work. And so what happens is that when I get upset, I'm temporarily insane. I can't, for the life of me, use any technique or anything to become sane again, except I'm so trained now to notice that I've gone insane that I can breathe and come back in and relax into my body and actually feel into the upset. And what happens is it dissipates. So the technology I'm working with is going to give people a tool so that when you're working with your own compulsive patterns, I've developed a way using what I call the 5-day Your Life as It Is personal retreat, where I give you all the tools and everything in the coaching, and instead of going to a retreat out of your life, see, we go out of our life to a retreat to find ourselves, the capital S self, only to come back into our lives, and then our coworker or our partner pushes our buttons, and then we lose ourself, capital S self, and then we find our small s self again. So what I've done is I've created a program where you can actually, in your own life, use your life as it is as grist for the mill. So you don't have to go anywhere. And I'll tell you, the efficiency of this is just so amazing. I'm on my 3rd week of doing this for myself. See, I'm not only the founder of Hard IQ, I'm also a client. And I got to tell you, this is the best thing I've ever found. And I'm just going to give my own testimonial. I have never found anything that works so rapidly. I've literally had lifetime patterns fall away. And they just drop. And it's using some of these simple techniques. But I also have a lot of support and coaching to get me through this. I'm not just doing it by myself. So thank you for listening.